my Scorpios, to another timeless, the love variant reading, where we cover whatever and however love may show up in your life, whether it is absent or unknown to you. This could also cover whether you're single, in a karmic relationship, an entanglement, whether you're widowed, or married, divorced, whatever may have you. Please remember that feminine and masculine energies are non-gender specific, so please take whatever energies resonate with you and leave the rest behind using your discernment. With that, past, present, and future energetical energies may show up within a reading to be used along with your discernment to take what is yours. Scorpio, these messages may offer universal justice if you are here as Scorpio, being in your Sun, rising, and or Jupiter position. However, you may be in search of emotional redemption when it comes to being here in Scorpio of Moon, Mercury, and or Venus position. So feel free to check out the description box below for my second channel, where you may find other content and may assist whatever it is that you are in search of at this time. In the description box below, you will also find various ways to reach any of my services, whether it is to receive remote healing sessions or a tarot reading of any kind, for I am a master healer. So immediately I'm sensing a lot of sassy energy, someone being spiteful, a bit of pettiness coming through, deception is coming through. Look at that, I have the Two of Swords and the Devil. We have Crossroads and Obsession. We have Five of Wands, Chaos, and Six of Pentacles, Kindness. Alright. It's a lot of hidden shadow aspects here. They're causing a nuanced sense of turmoil in one's life. It's a bit contingent on it being that whoever it resonates with, they are a bit, it's very literal, they're in chaos right now, okay? The chaos is chasing an obsession, whether it's obsession in an also a literal term of fulfilling kindness here. This is the irony, the obsession of fulfilling kindness. Bit of an irony, because for those of you Scorpios that dabble in esoteric knowledge and teachings, understand that a measurement of self is all that it takes for anything externally to be of fairness, okay? And the inner wellness spectrum is definitive of how external needs are met with feeling grateful internally of them being a possession or in possession of yours. So it's almost like trying to fix wrongs and being very like obsessed in doing so, because you want to minimize the possible negative consequences from rising to the top and providing a problem. Those of you who see beyond a measurement of current time and space want to try to understand how to fulfill a chaotic mind of imagination and certainty, and to deliver the message in coding to bring more balance and harmony to the world. However this fucking shows up here, alright? This can be an individual who has had a vast past of sexual or maybe also controlled substance abuse addiction. and they have gone through heavy counseling, heavy meditation of just learning to dance with their addictions and their traumas, and finding themselves constantly battling an internal obsessive thought and obsessive feelings that come in having these obsessive thoughts. And it takes a even louder ego to maintain discipline on oneself, not to engage these loud spectrums of sirens within oneself, and find themselves in more chaotic situations. They want to get well, they want to fortify, they want to blossom, they want to flow, they want to grow, they want to glow. So this is a battle of mind versus heart versus gut at this time for more Scorpions at this time in this energy. And it's the internal processes of internal self that feeds the ego, where if you're someone who has come across my channel or someone who's learning this information new, I have a playlist of the Devil series where it's the obsession of the ego not knowing whether it is of light or of darkness, so it wants to play a game. That narrative has made its way into your current realities, okay? And battling with your ego and your soul and making them work for each other is the goal to minimize how loud the devil can be into wanting to overrule everything and make everything be possessed by it. But we wouldn't function as such. We have nothing to gain being a narcissist. So like I said, those in higher esoteric teachings and knowledge are being forced to dance with their own inner selves in a different way than maybe they've ever had to dance with it before. And this is in tandem of having to understand the narrative of dancing in society with also having the power of a loud inner voice. Healing the temperaments here with the temperament card of the devil by giving it the nutritious light of the inner voice to tame any internal chaos. Full ultimate control here with the Four of Pentacles. Whether it's an obsession of a control is contrary to the ultimate message that the inner voice is trying to shout at this time, because it doesn't care to be right within Knight of Cups here in romance. It doesn't care to be right. It cares to be kind. It cares to offer balance by offering a level of control. Whether that control offers the feeling of eternal gratefulness is to no care of the need to control and discipline these feelings. The Seven of Wands, resilience, because that's the key. Resilience is the key to understand the narrative that is difficult to understand at one time, because it adds into the celebration of what is controlled by what can be maintained within thyself. And when something cannot be maintained within thyself, we look further into ourselves to seek out what we may need externally to fulfill the inner need within ourselves. We fulfill the sense of currency to fulfill a sense of wellness. And that wellness offers a sense of wealthiness. And that wealthiness can offer a sense of literal release here with the Death card, because the ultimate control of the ultimate lesson of what it means to live in live in an existential form of a human experience is exactly why you have chosen this human experience. to understand the metamorphosis of chaos and what it can bring, what it can bring further with going into chaos with full control, and what the accolades can be afterwards of the rebirthing to come, of having thus been able to release. The Wheel of Fortune, number 10. So small chapters are beginning and ending for many individuals within this reading. Being able to hear the message without having opinion towards the messenger is going to solidify what it means to hold on to your form of governing of your mind, and it allowing it to create a story, but not letting the story be who you are, but you being in control of the story, and let the story be a version of what it is that you are. The 8 of Cups here. Being forced to understand what is worthy of sharing, where your passion goes, who it goes, who to exchange it with, your energies, also sexually, exploratively with your mind, sharing of opinions and ideas, friendships, and just overall space of time in the everyday working of the clock. Who to be around, what to be around, who to offer your knowledge of planting seeds, and who to allow yourself to surrender under to allow them to plant seeds within you, because that's where the King of Gems comes in strong and says that this person is something to factor into as a new pattern to coexist in, that you don't have to do it alone. That the idea of sovereignty is a blessing in disguise, in the fact that the more you give yourself the courage to live your breath, the people that want to share that same breath with you show up. This energy is not in the making for everyone, because the 2 of Swords leads this reading. It's a crossroad. It is a decision away. Ace of Cups. It's a decision away. It's an experience away. It's a choice away. In order to define this choice is to not pay attention to your past. It will be almost impossible for you to accept that, because you will be drowned in having to remember everything that you will forgo once you make a choice. So your mind is going to blast you with everything that you will be missing, or may be missing, or will be lost if you choose something, because it wants to portray that it can convince you of knowing the future of your choices. However, the actuality of those choices are codependent on still the decision, which you must find and execute yourself. Finding feelings is part of the blessing and problem of being human, because we have different sensories that trigger different nerves, and thus provide different memories and different remembrances. and different pathways of teachings and examples and thoughts and context clues, symbolisms, meaning, wisdom, maturity, growth, aspects, perspective, a chance to think about thinking and thinking why the thoughts exist without getting lost with fear, but standing strong in the fact that you have the ability to have those thoughts, so it's a beautiful one. And when thoughts are coming directly as being obsessive or being too much, then they also provide a message, because those thoughts are saying that you are capable of gaining control and thus learning how to understand the message and to deliver the message to those who need to hear it, so that you can feel your own inner voice being validated, not of harm, not of misguidedness, but a need to forewarn almost other people. Because some of you are so vibrant in receiving very chaotic thoughts of imaginations. You may also see things of death, and you don't know how to convey the message into real time just yet. And just yet is very important to the message at hand. Because if you have the gift of seeing and it becomes in line with existence and you're unharmed, then it means you're very powerful with a gift. And is to be looked at as a gift, no matter how chaotic it seems for someone to comprehend, that it is actually a gift that you have of yourself. Society has been blasted for many decades of shunning those who have sight. So if someone is this type of person and they have people around them who are not of that same caliber yet, it becomes exhaustive for the Hierophant to remain in his or her power and to continue teaching and to be the teacher to teach the students, to accept that everyone else is a student and not a teacher of their caliber, and secretly wishing to meet other teachers of the same caliber so that this teacher can be again a student. Because there was something beautiful to be found in being a student, being ignorant and not knowing and finding out and learning. And now that you know, you have maybe a hard time bringing information to individuals without being also then looked at as like this unique aspect of society, like, because that's where you almost feel lonely with this death card. All right, like you feel like, what's the point of this knowing and feeling all this interconnectedness and guiding people well, because I speak of honesty, yet the island that of which I roam is desolate. But it's also done with, yet it's done with the mystery of the universe, of which you do not yet see. And that's why it's in perfect design. It's the need to accept death comes in a form of living. Because that of which dies is not considered dead. The moon. I don't like when the moon card comes up in readings, because it shows me more often than not an obsession with full moon and new moon listeners of tarot card readers. I get the point, I get the marketing, I get the appeal, I understand the messages. However, there is just too much information now out there in the collective pool of human consciousness to no longer need to obsess about the fucking moon and need to understand the basic structure of the moon in regards to however we can connect the dots to all these facts that allow us to be whoever the fuck we want to be. Because the moon, scientifically, in the way that we've been also educated and uneducated, we're going to have to go back to the basics of certain structures of what they believed is the way to teach us the beautiful ways of the universe. And let's say it's on the spectrum of there being a solar system. And let's say the solar system is contingent on the fucking fact of being the sun, which most of us can see, unless we're in a cave or under the water or whatever, or the moon. Unless, again, you're in a cave or under the water, you may not see the moon. However, the moon and the sun is a very interesting relationship that no matter how long and whomever you talk to on this planet, they tell a very different story to how people accept the narrative of what we all can see, if we can have the sight to see. So the moon operates in a way that we only, with our naked eyes, see one side of. Why do we want to ever accept the full story of something that we only see one side of? In a conquest to understand the logic of that, to me, it's already flawed. And that's how I understand the value of also the literal meaning of the major arcana card of the moon energy in tarot, of the major arcanas. Because the moon, as the number 18, indicates that no matter how far you go into reaching your successes, and even making your acquaintance with the Holy Spirit in any which way, form, or whatever which way this energy may have made its contact in your mysteries of living, you will never be really that sure. And you will never really be gifted the high accolades of other people to tell you how good you are and telling the message that runs through you. There will forever be a secret, because the secret is that everyone has to tap into themselves in order to understand it. And until then, there's a lot of finger pointing, a lot of secrets, a lot of deception. And since that is the normal way of human behavior because of age differences, geographical needs and wants, economic fluctuations, independency, codependency, politics, it will almost forever only ever be one fucking sided. Which adds also the contradictory point as to why we also value the meaning of this fucking card as one-sided as it is. Some of you want to slow down time, and you can. Look at that, the pilgrim, opportunities and growth. I mean, there's nothing more about slowing time, or being slow in time than being a pilgrim. Okay, not subjectifying to technology and modern anything, just keeping it very simple, plain Jane, you know? And there's a simplicity to be had in that, and some people seek that out. And some people venture far, far, far away and still return back to simplicity. They may make it look a little different and call it minimalism, but look, it's still minimalistic. It's still resorting back to some sort of basic function, whether that basic function is having a little plant and water in your apartment in New York or in any city in the world, or because you can't have a farm or land, or actually having a farm and a land and knowing that although it might be yours, is it really yours? So going back to the basics is a loose term for those who operate in wanting to maintain Christic. Christic is the vibration of Earth's heartbeat, where it's Karayasata Allah. To get back into those vibrations and to feel the blessings of those is to only deal with your own opportunities and your own fucking growth. The Acolyte, new projects, learning. So yeah, someone wants to really go back to the basics, whether it's also going back to school, learning about natural medicine, comparing that to modern medicine, trying to slow down time. Good luck. Good luck. It's gonna be really difficult to slow down time, because time is, as you don't yet see, not a factoring of importance. Because if that message resonated, then you have made it certain to me as a reader to see that your eye is actually closed. And on your eye, I mean your third eye. If your third eye is open, then you would have no pressing limits to subjectify time, to make sure that you meet minimalism and that you meet the basics, that you have to dumb anything down and that you have to be more of. You are perfect as you are if your third eye is open. So what are the keys to unlock your third eye? If you go into your medical medicine cabinet right now and there is Colgate or Crest or fluoride toothpaste, it starts right there. If you're drinking filtered tap water, it also starts right there. Those are measurements that keep you from not seeing the holy light. And the holy light is not painted in my energetical readings as God. For that, I reach too much feminine energy, to be honest, to see that of any masculine doing. The painter that gets the productivity and creation done is the doer, yes, but what's happening is feminine energy. Feminine energy creates. Feminine energy, no matter if you're a man or a woman, is the one creating. The doer of the creation, that's masculine energy. There's a difference. There's a hiccup. The hiccup is perspective. The hiccup is in the mind. The hiccup is literally in the mind, and the fact that your third eye is in your mind. So it's indicative to allow the third eye to open, to accept that there is a third eye. Because a lot of you feel vibrations in between your eyebrows right now. Maybe some of you feel really nauseous, feel a little woozy, a little lightheaded. And if they didn't happen 5 minutes ago and nothing happened 30 minutes ago, then it's all because of this reading. By the way, the Painter card, creation energy also came from the Painter productivity and creation card. Someone needs to wash their hands more. The scholar, investigation, research, and going back to washing hands, I'm not talking hand sanitizer. It's poison to the blood. The spy master, knowledge, distrust. knowledge, distrust. Yeah, I mean, the strong message here comes from the crow here. A lot of you are afraid due to tradition, due to culture, to I don't know really how to explain this energy because I don't want to entitle it with any emotion. But I will say that there are many of you who come from a background of thought processes and rituals that feed energy towards not trusting other individuals that have left a message with you that you actually resonate well with, that unlocked an intricate part of you. And to bring attention to that is something that would be classified as going against family politics and religion. So in layman's terms, trusting a psychic is the last thing that you're allowed to do. So again, with not wanting to trigger bringing forth any emotional thought, I'm going to leave that where that is. Because if that same individual is guilty for having that thought and they've ever been married, then I truly do not know what it is that your point could ever be. Alright, Queen of Cups. Five of Wands. I mean, someone is absolutely tired of dealing with their own emotions. Emotions are absolutely tumultuous for someone to accept. Therapy is not really helping. And the person is waiting for some sort of salvation, as in you. You want to be saved emotionally. And there's no one that can be able to save you emotionally besides gift you an opportunity to recognize something that's already lurking within you. And that's to say that if you were to reach out to me, I can be of assistance. If I change anything or something's changed within your life and you sought me out as the one that gifted you this new perspective change or opportunity, a recognition of some kind, it is not me who provided that for you. It is you who provided it for yourself. And that's ultimate judgment. It's ultimate salvation. That's ultimate redemption that one can seek through studying their emotions and understanding the drama that comes from putting attention to emotions and needing to wait in a very uncomfortable way to understand the lessons of those emotions for having gone through them and feeling them for as vile and vicious as they may have been. Fucking fly wasping around here is driving me absolutely bananas. So I'm saying it's like lurking shit that it's just like, ugh. But we have to find comfort in moments of certain chaos in order to understand what it means to prevail. Because prevailing lets you know that when you reach into higher vibrations of consciousness and acceptance, and the obsessiveness that comes in doing so, the release factor of having reached an obsession and letting go of that obsession is a newfound way of euphoria. And that uniform euphoria and dancing along with universal vibrations allows you to have a perspective that's wild and free and in your own making and doing, because the consequences are literally of your making and doing, which becomes easier to accept with what is accepted in your life and who's in it and who is to come. Alright, that is all that I have for you at this time, Scorpio. I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space, and may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.